Hey guys, Jalen from TBIInfinitey bringing you guys a Buddyfight deck profile, and this time I got my Knights post Dragon Fighters. Was gonna wait till X set, but I feel like I'm gonna change it post X set, so that would require you guys waiting a lot more time for just a deck profile like this for a deck that's not even getting support in X set. But things are going to change a lot when X set comes out, so that's what I was gonna say. This deck's gonna change. Regardless, I wanted to bring out this deck profile before X set, and so in general people can get an idea of Knights, because I've had people looking around on Ikaruga like, oh, what are you guys doing for Knights, and other things like that. So I took the liberty of put on my Knight list. I never did this on the channel yet. It took me a while. Sorry. Either way, I gave a construct mix, made Knights, having a lot of fun with them, regardless. Anyway, trying to get into the deck profile, we have of course our flag, it's not Naboru Suga flag. I don't fucking care about Naboru. Anyway, then my buddy is Knight of Glory El Quixote, 3/1/1, size 1, with the ability when a link attacks with adventure, put a target deck into the gauge, and then if you have an adventure item equipped, then you get crit and penetrate for the turn. So it's really good with Tetsuya, it's really good with full stretch, really good with a lot of things, just in general. Kind of the only good Knight size 1. Next to like Aaron and Jake, but I don't main Jake. And Aaron, I've tested. He's annoying for his 1 gauge call cost. At times, he does, of course, provide the helpful draw. Regardless, he's not into the deck. But just in general, Quixote is just a really nice Knight size 1, Adventure size 1. Just really overall good card. But of course, the stats could be a little better. For the only non-adventure in this deck, we have 2 copies of Twin Tails Incubus, Dungeon Enemy, size 1, 2/2/1, with the ability when this is the field, pay 2 life. You can search for a mission card with, you can pay 2 life. If you do, search for a card with mission card and its card name, and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. Just, of course, there's for more mission card consistency. I only play 2 because it does conflict, of course, not being an adventure, and I'm not doing a mix variant where you run continue or something like that, so don't really want to just see this all the time, especially since I also have a backup that also searches. Well, not a backup, the main one I run that searches. This is the backup. Anyway, it's just a really replaceable monster, honestly, because it's just 2 crit. Like, the 2 crit's the only thing that would make me want to leave it on field if I don't have something better in hand to call over it. But regardless, just really good monster. 2 copies of Legendary Assignment Legendary Messiah Tsuku. He has 5,000 power true critical, 1,000 defense. When it's in the field, you can gain a gauge in a life, and when it at the end of its battle, then it's destroyed. He's just really there because he just really provides you just necessary gauge for some plays. Decent life gain, and it's just also 1,000 rapier that just kills itself. So just really nice monster overall. 3 copies of Mysterious Fortune Teller Sophia. Sophia is a 4/2/1 size 1 with the pay 1 gauge call cost and the ability to nullify all the abilities of monsters it battle with, and it has the ability when it enters the field you can discard a card. If you do, search your deck for a spell with set in it and then add it to your hand. So it's just really great for, of course, mission cards consistency, getting rid of dead cards maybe, or just in general, just giving them a card so you can just get those mission cards so you can just get better plays in your hand. And then just as even a monster is just really powerful, be able to like nullify the abilities of monsters. You could like literally attack like you could attack Fifth Omni's like Cavalry Dragon, was it Great Light Rim Elliot or something like that. Like the size 3 with 4K defense with Soul Guard. You just literally can attack him, and if they don't Dragon Shield, like, then you can actually kill it without them being able to use Soul Guard and stuff like that. So just really good. Yeah, a long-time adventure staple, we have 4 copies of Dancing Magician Tetsuya. When a link attacks into the adventure, Death Lyric, when a link attacks into the adventure, you can give one of the adventures in a link attack, double attack. That includes Tetsuya, but you only do that in very niche situations. Either way, Death Lyric can only be activated once per turn, so no spamming double Tetsuyas. And just in general, like 2 2/1/2 size 1, so it's just like, its stats are of course mediocre, but this ability is amazing, way too good to pass up. Just in general, the Tetsuya with Camille, Quixote, your 2 spears, they don't get their abilities. They link attack only with Tetsuya, but if you link attack together with them and Tetsuya, then you can stand one of them and then reuse their ability if you link attack with another knight. So Tetsuya can be really, really useful in a lot of situations. Then we have 4 copies of the Buddy, so not going to get into further explanation there. 1 copy of El Quixote Golden Age, 6/3/4, size 2, impact monster with the pay 3 gauge and call on top of a knight monster. Call cost with the ability to, when it enters the field during the final phase, you stand up to 2 cards with the weapon attribute, and they can now attack during the final phase. And this card is Penetrate, so it's just really there, so it's like a fancy Full Strush. It doesn't link attack with everything like Full Strush, so you can basically go attack with this, link attack with the spears, get their abilities again. So it's got some nice fun plays. I would prefer this thing, and it also has Soul Guard. I would prefer this thing also had Move, because the hefty 3 gauge cost, and I still need specifically a Knight monster. I'm just like, can you make it more worth that I call you compared to just using a Full Strush? Anyway, it's still a nice monster nonetheless, and if I do lose it for things like just in general gets in the gauge or whatever, discard if it's Sophia or it goes off the golden treasure box, I don't really mind losing it because it's just a one of anyway. 2 copies of Triumphal Knight El Quixote. Triumphal Knight is a size 2 5/2/4 with the pay 1 gauge and put attack out of your deck into its soul call cost. It has the 2 abilities other than its Soul Guard. It has sorry, dry throat. It has the ability to gain move when you have a Knight item equipped, and then if you have 2 items equipped, it gets an extra critical. So it becomes a 5/3/4 move, Soul Guard. So it's just really, really nice offensively and defensively if you do need so. So I do like Triumphal Knight as a nice backup. Compared to the main size 2 I call Baptism Knight Camille, 5/2/3 size 2, pay 1 gauge call cost. When this is the field and you have an item equipped, people forget that sometimes. If you have an item equipped, search your deck for a Knight item and shuffle your deck. This ability is mandatory, so you've already had the spears equipped and you call Camille, you still have to search. And also and it has the ability to, when you attack with it and you have 2 items equipped, then you get stuck your deck into the gauge. So so it pays for itself and it just gets you what you need. So Camille just in general is a really great monster. On the left we have two copies of Mission Card Teamwork and 2 copies of Mission Card of Judgment Great Spell Apocalypse. This lets, whenever adventurers link attacks, I get to put the target deck into the soul. The ability only activates once per turn, and when it reaches 2 or more soul, then you get 2 cards from the soul and put them. You choose 1 to go engage, and 1 goes to hand, and then when it also sends itself to the drop zone, and when you do, you gain a life. So it's basically like a fancy Dragon Emperor Legend. And then we have two copies of Great Spell Apocalypse, which you put the top 3 cards of your deck face down into its soul as a cast cost. It's set. Your opponent can't destroy it by effects, and it has the ability every time a monster is destroyed and you remove a soul. When it reaches 0 soul, then you get to draw a card. So regardless, it's just these are 2 free mission cards, so it doesn't conflict with my plays when I do set Form Party. And speaking of Form Party, we have 4 copies of them. Set spell with the ability when a mission card is placed on the field. While this is here, you send it to the drop zone, and you gain a life and search for an adventure from your deck. So basically, all my monsters except for Incubus and all my items are all targets. And all my impacts. What impacts you'll see soon. Regardless, this is just obviously like one of the best cards that adventurers have. Just it does conflict, of course, because it's like, oh, it's so much space because you have to play 4 for these and then mission cards to be able to cast these. But it's like, it's fine. It's fine. And we have two copies of Golden Treasure Box. You can only cast it 6 or less life. Then you send attack out of your deck into the drop zone. If it's a monster, draw equal to its size. Then if it's not a non-monster, then you gauge and draw. So it's either, just for me, either a 1-for-1 if I mill size 1, draw a free nice one if I mill size 2, and then a gauge and draw if I mill anything else. So really, really good nonetheless. No real downside for me. So I really like the card. Then we have 2 copies of Hidden Crossbow. Counter destroy a monster with 3,000 or less defense. Just really useful in against plenty of matchups, but there are times where it can be annoying, so that's why I do not run 4 copies of it, because it was kind of annoying to just face, like, of course, size 3 decks, and it's just like, oh, this is useless. 2 copies of Pillar of Fires. I can only cast if I have open center, pay a gauge, and I can destroy monsters 6,000 or less defense. So this is mainly for, of course, more problematic monsters that I might want to get rid of. So that's why I do 2/2, so I can get rid of the little guys that are annoying with Hidden Crossbow, and then when I need to take out big fellas, I use Pillar of Fire. So that explains the 2/2 ratio that I do. Then we have 4 copies of Quizzing to Cassiard. Quizzing to Cassiard, you can only cast if you have an open center, and you reduce the next damage you would take by 3. So basically this is just here because it's just a free for defense if I do not have the Gauge of Shalsana, Pillar of Fire, or I don't draw Crossbow. Just in general, just nice to have a really good option. Nonetheless, most monsters when they attack say they can't be nullified alone, so this being reduction really does help in plenty of cases. So it's just good card nonetheless. Then we have 4 copies of your basic staple Divine Protection Shalsana. Cast cost, pay 1 gauge. You can only cast it during an attack on your opponent's turn. Nullify the attack, gain a life. Then of course for items we're going to talk in tandem. We have Thunder Beast Spear Bestia and Wind Scaled Spear Eskimo. 3/2 weapon with the pay 1 life equip cost, and when it link attacks with a knight, when you have Eskimo equipped, then you can destroy either a monster or an item on your opponent's field. Then Eskimo allows you to equip both spears. It does not matter which way you equip it because of the way it resolves, because both will be in the item slot at one point. So then Eskimos, once you pay the equip cost, then it will resolve before sending it to the drop due to resolution. Either way, there's a pay 1 gauge. Eskimo has a pay 1 gauge equip cost, 6/1. It has the ability when it link attacks and you have Bestia equipped. When it link attacks with a knight, then you can burn your opponent for 1 damage. So there are plenty of times where the other spears are better in some matchups, like maybe DCE. But this also is useful against DCE because when you link attack and with a knight, then you can destroy it without being annoyed by the Ikaruga Plus, because this is an item effect, not a monster effect. So they both have their uses, but plenty. Of course, for this deck, I'd rather go with these spears. Then we have 1 copy of Dead End Crush. It's just a nice option I like to have for close center matchups that I could keep penetrating through with either the burn damage of the spear or Quixote's penetrate. And just in general, just some have lifelink, of course, so when I do open the center, then it could be like in range for me to just kill them with this. But what this does is a 2 gauge cast cost. You can only cast if your opponent has 3 or less life. If you have an adventure item and an adventure weapon equipped, and you deal your opponent 3 damage, well, this card can't be nullified and its damage cannot be reduced. So it's just absolutely annoying for your opponent to deal with this card, because it doesn't matter what's on their field, it just matters what's on my field, and it's very simple. So it's just like, god damn it, why do I have to deal with this? Like, this card just comes in and just wins the game. But it has a very low life break, so that's what make it kinda fair. Kinda. Then lastly, we have 2 copies of Full Stretch Formation. You can only cast if you have 3 gauge to cast it for its cast cost, and if you have 2 or more adventures on your field with an open center, and then you stand all of them in the final phase, and then link attack of all of them during the final phase. So just really annoying for your opponent to deal with, especially you have Camille and Quixote, because that gives you 2 gauge because of their abilities, and then you can just cast another one if you have 1 extra gauge, and then if that doesn't work out somehow and they live, then you can still cast a Dead and Crush, because that's another 2 gauge you gain from if you casted a second full stretch, and you have specifically El Quixote and Camille again. So good lord, that can just be nasty. I've pulled it off a couple of times. Sometimes it's just full. I call just Golden Age, then cast full stretch, and then Dead and Crush. Like, you can just kill people either in the attack phase or the final phase. I just love that option that I have in this deck. Anyway, hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to me for more Buddyfight content. If you are going to subscribe, please hit that bell icon so you can always be notified when we upload. So I'll see you guys later. Devlon from TBI Infinitey going out.